Wonderful play from Arsenal. Henry! What a fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry. Sanchez. Arsenal lead. They turn it around at Wembley.
Okay, people, this is your boy Michael, all the way from the nation's capital, Abuja. And with me in the studio, this is George.
Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time. It's been the worst period I've ever seen Arsenal.
So-
I love Arsenal so much. Okay, I love Arsenal so much. So whatever is happening right now, this mess that we're in, is really affecting me. It's really, really affecting me. I can't take it anymore. You know, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, if this is a crisis, we have to go through it. This is a test, we have to go through it. If it's just a test to prove our love to Arsenal, we have to pass, we have to go through it. For the meantime, we have to go through this process. How are Gunners feeling over there?
Around. I know of a fan that supports Spurs. Most of the people here don't watch football like that. They watch World Cup and they watch a lot of cricket. So their main sport here is cricket, not football. So I don't really know a lot of people or anyone who supports Arsenal.
Okay, the first thing is, how did you see the game yesterday?
Another week, you know, and another L from a gutless and heartless performance from the boys, you know. At some point, you know, you get to like, okay, let us at least question Mikel Arteta, you know, because like yesterday's game, Arteta started with Eddie over Lacazette or even Balogun, you know. Imagine if you were like the defenders Everton had, how would you feel when you see something like that? Like you rejoice, you think, okay, this is fun, this will be fun. Because if you take a very good look at our front three, you even like, okay, what is happening here? Like you don't see any one of those guys scoring a goal. Like it's so obvious that none of those guys are capable of, you know, giving at least 8/10. You know, so like it's questionable. Like at some point you start questioning Mikel Arteta. Like, okay, what is this? Why play Nketiah over our most senior striker, who is not injured and is available to play, Lacazette? And then at the same time you brought in Willian and Pepe. Both of them had a very, very poor game, extremely poor game, abysmal performance. But at the same time, you took off one that was trying a bit and left the other one who showed, like you could see that it was just there that he doesn't care. He was strolling around. Like we all noticed it. We the fans, we all saw it. Why did you kept him on till like the end of the game? Like why? And then we had Aubameyang wasn't playing because he was injured. And then there's Rob Holding, and you gave Rob Holding the captaincy. Like why? What are these decisions for? These are questionable things. Like these are the type of things that gets a manager sacked. You know, these are the type of things that gets a manager sacked. Okay.
Okay, let me come in.
Today, my own point of view is I'm not going to be an Arteta out or an Arteta in type of guy today. You know, I won't be any of this, because this is not the problem. This is not the problem with Arsenal. You know, this is not the issue that is wrong with Arsenal. Because if for example, you want to go back to the main issue, we have to look at the spine of the club. We keep talking about the spine of the team, and we forget about the spine of the club. Imagine you have Kroenke, you have Vinay, you have Edo and Arteta. Look at these guys. These guys are inexperienced guys. Go and check Edo's CV. You'll be amazed. What has he achieved? What has he achieved? Check Vinay's. What has these guys achieved? These are the main issues. The main issue is not about Arteta. Okay, Arteta has a role to play. it's not about the players, but the players have their own role to play too. But the spine of the club, look at the men running the club. Because before Arteta came in as our manager, or when they gave Arteta the managerial position, at first I was disappointed. I was like, what the hell? What is this? What is happening? And then he came, we saw that bounce, and then we moved forward, and then we won the FA Cup. And I was excited. I was like, wow, next season, okay, things will turn around. But imagine where we are right now. Okay, if for example, we sack Arteta, with all the news we've been hearing of all the down tools and everything, people revolting in the club, players are like there's like players have turned themselves into cliques, like they have their own cliques, like the players are divided into groups. So if for example Luis, William, as the news said that they are saying that they don't want Arteta anymore. If for example Edu decides to sack Arteta, who is Edu going to bring in? Another Brazilian? Because since Edu came into the club, we've been seeing this line of Brazilians coming in, line of guys who don't care about our club. Luis, William, you think they care about our club? These are guys who stayed in Chelsea for years. You think they care about Arsenal? They don't care. And that is why it hurts me so much that there are fans out there who are rejoicing, who are happy that, oh, Luis and William don't want Arteta anymore. Like, man, these guys don't have the right. They don't have the right to even have a say in this issue. They don't have that right. If they are part of those group or that clique that are dividing the club and dividing the team, then man, because at the same time you see other players like Aubameyang, you see Xhaka, they came out and they said, oh, you guys don't deserve this. You guys don't deserve this. At least there are some of the, like even Leno coming out to say, oh, it's not the manager's fault. We, the players, we know what is happening. So it is not Arteta's fault, because Arteta, in one aspect, have moved the club forward by even see, bro, Wenger had issues with these players. These same players, Wenger had issues. Like he was always changing his team every week, playing this, playing that. And then Emery came. We could see it in his eyes. He was irritated with these players. He wanted some of these players gone. What happened? Nothing happened. And then Arteta came, and then the same thing is happening again. The club is not. See, there are bad eggs among the players. The club knows those people. They should have dealt with them at the summer. I don't think Arteta willingly said, okay, these are the players I want. I don't think Arteta accepted it, but due to COVID, due to everything that has been happening, I guess Arteta accepted it. He accepted it and said, okay, let's move on with these players and see what will come out from it. But at the same time, let us look for ways to push out these other players that we don't need. And those players are in the club. They know very well that, oh, the club doesn't want them anymore. And they're trying to push the manager out, so that when a new manager comes, they will get a bounce, they will perform good in games, and then we'll start talking about renewing David Luiz contract. We'll start talking about, okay, let us see if we can extend Williams' contract. These guys, first and foremost, are not supposed to be in that club. Bro, I'm heartbroken. Because as fans, we need to unite. Okay, I'm like, this is a cry out call to everybody out there now. Like, we need to unite and identify the main issue in this club. We need to unite and identify the main issue and say, okay, this is where the issue is, and we have to put all our effort. We have to come in one voice and look for a way to sort out this issue. It is not about Arteta. It's not about the players. It's about the club, the board members. They are not managing the club effectively. Yesterday's game against Everton, bro, I'm very, very disappointed. I never knew. See, bro, I've passed that point where I get angry. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just disappointed. Like every game, you see the way they play, you see the boys strolling around. They don't even go for tackles. There's no pressure. There's nothing. And at the same time, it's not looking as if we don't even have a style of play. Like, oh my God, this is not the Arsenal I fell in love with. This is not the Arsenal I fell in love with.
Mayo, welcome to the studio. We are discussing about this weekend's match against Everton. What was your take on the match?
So yeah, I knew. See, I'm just very, very disappointed and sad. So maybe it's reflecting on my voice. I knew we were going to lose. It's normal. Like I know we are going to lose against Chelsea already. Like I don't look forward to winning any games. I don't get excited about the team news. I just watch, and when I'm done, I move on with life because I'm getting to a point where I'm really exhausted at the moment. I like George said, I'm not angry anymore. If they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. I'm at the point whereby my mental health is more important than the agendas of the club. Yesterday's match was not a surprise to me. Everybody knows that I've been Arteta out for a long time. Yes, and I agree. The entire team right now is not all about. It's not all Arteta's fault. I can understand, but the thing is that in any company, the result of or the goals of any company is a reflection of the management. And the thing is that you cannot eradicate 25 staffs or 30 staffs in a company. It's easier to eradicate one person, which is usually the manager, which is the same thing that happened right now at the club. We are so bad. We are 15th, and we're depending on lesser the clause below not to win, so that we can still hang on to 15th. Because yesterday Brighton had won their game, will have been 16th, and it's really disappointing how bad we're falling, how lackluster the club is run, how poor the management from top to bottom. Like George said, there is no experience. Vinay, I don't know what he does. I don't know what he did to warrant such position. Edu, I don't know what his credentials are to be running a top club like Arsenal. Arteta has never managed any club in his entire life, and he's a manager. I wanted an experienced manager from the beginning because, with an experienced manager, even if you are in this kind of situation, you can trust their past records too. Okay, I trust this guy because he has done it before. Okay, I trust Mourinho because he has done it before. I trust Ancelotti because he has done it before. I don't know what to look or what to hold on to about Arteta to say he has what it takes to pull this form, like to pull it away from this bad form to restart winning games again. The players we have, first of all, they are not 15th place players. When you say Arsenal is having a bad draw, the worst we should be having is top 6, top 8. That's when we're having a bad. That's when we should be having a bad draw. These players are not 15th place players. And secondly, these players are not relegation fighting players. If by mistake we enter a relegation battle and we are unable to pull out away from this dreadful form, I don't trust the team, and I don't trust Arteta to pull us away from this, to pull us away from relegation. And the thought of we even relegating in the first place is so disappointing, honestly. And I also do not trust the board. We are all saying it's not Arteta's fault, give him time. I don't trust this board to go out there to sign the right players in January. So come the end of January, we will still be left with the same bunch of players. Arteta cannot be the man to pull us out. We need. Yes, it is sad. It is bad. I feel so sorry for him. He might end up being a good manager some days. Probably will get a lower job. He will build up again his credentials. He might, but at the moment, I don't think he's the right man to pull us out of this form. I don't see where our win is coming from. We don't look like we are going to score. We don't look like we are going to defend. There's no formation that we play that suits the team. 3-4-3, 4-3-3, 5 anything. Nothing is working. So our midfield is poor. He's picking the wrong players. Picked Edin Ketia over Lacazette. Yeah, even if Lacazette is on a bad run of form, yeah, he's still a senior player. Yeah, I mean, just imagine the defenders, Everton centre backs, seeing Edin Ketia as the only striker against them. Imagine Yeremina seeing Edin Ketia on their team sheet that this is the person that they're going to be asked to be dealing with. I mean, there's no fear. They're just having a few days. I know Lacazette is having a bad one, and I'm not saying that I will have done any better. But it's disappointing for you to pick Edin Ketia over Lacazette. And when you needed a goal, you removed Pepe and you brought in Joe Willock. We have 0 goals from our midfield. The only people that have contributed to our goal scoring record this season, Pepe and our strikers. And you removed our only hope of getting a goal and you brought in Joe Willock. For what? And then you left it until the last minute to bring on Lacazette in the 17th minute to come and do what? So Arteta, I feel sorry for him. I end up being a good manager, but at the moment, he's making the wrong money. He's making the wrong tactics. He's picking up the wrong lineups. He's making the wrong substitutions. His man management skills are poor. He exiled Guendouzi for the same offense that Granit Xhaka committed, and I can bet you that Granit Xhaka, having not also apologized up till now, will go back into the team at the end of his red card. He called out Pepe the other day, but refused to call out Xhaka for getting a stupid red card. So I don't trust his man management skills, and I think he's also losing the dressing room. And to me, at the moment, the best thing we can do is just get away with him and go for an experienced manager. I would rather trust an experienced manager in our current form to be able to pull us out. Probably someone that has done it before, maybe a Benitez, or somebody that has done it, someone that is used to this kind of situation and can undo big players with big egos. At the moment, Arteta is making the wrong decisions, is doing the wrong things, and there's no luck in the team. All our efforts are either touching the bar, we are either getting red cards, we are either scoring own goals. Like there's always one drama or the other in every season. We've had 5 points from our last 30 points. Only 5 points from our last 30 points. It is poor. It is dreadful. We are in a relegation form. We are in a serious relegation form, and nobody should even take it lightly. And I feel like I don't even think it would. If he escapes the end of this month, then I think the club does not have any form of ambition. And I don't trust that the club will back him. And even if they back him in January, I don't trust him to pull us out of this form, because I don't even see what he's even doing at the moment to pull us out of this form. We're going into the game the same way. We start poorly, we concede, and then we start to attack. And when we're attacking, we go sideways to the left, to the right, and then cross the ball to Edin Ketia to north. And then I don't even trust his post-match reaction is scary. He will come out and say, we had a good performance, we dominated the game. What game did we dominate? We not dominated any game in the past 10 games. So at the moment, I've said my own. Arteta needs to go. Yes, the board is a serious concern, but at the moment, Arteta needs to go, because I don't trust him to pull us out from this. I really do not trust him, and honestly, I believe we fans need to come together. We need to come together and hammer the board, hammer the owner, and unite together. This is poor. There's no top club, but there's no club in the EPL with this kind of form that will still keep their manager. We saw West Brom the other day sack their manager for getting a 1-1 draw at Man City. There's no last week. The manager of this club in the Championship sacked their manager, top club that would keep their manager in this kind of poor form. So that's just my take. Yeah,
Okay.
So that's just my take. There's no team. So Arteta needs to go, and he's doing the wrong at the moment. That's my take.
Okay, since you brought in the management into it, Are you not certain that the management knew what they were going into bringing up an experienced manager? Because as far as we knew, the management came out during the summer and say, yes, we knew the risks we were taking with Arteta, but there's a process, there's a project ongoing, and this project will take for like 3 years to actually fully develop. Now, since you mentioned Edu also, George, now going into the summer, when we had the transfer window, now you could you also notice that it was the last minute that this same management sanctioned a deal for Partey. And this deal took pressures from the Arsenal fans to get Partey signed, because I think towards the end of the transfer window, so the last day of the transfer window, we all give up hope of signing Aouar and Partey. Then the news came out at the last minute that okay, actually Arsenal are actually signing Partey. Are you not sure the Arsenal board set up managers to fail? Because like they are setting up Arteta to fail, really.
Of course,
George, I'll go with you.
it's visible, it's there. Like let me take a quote from Obayagbo. It is audible to the deaf and visible to the blind that this is what they do. Like I said, let us go back to Wenger's period, because was it last month or 2 months back? And Wenger said he was surprised in his book. Yeah, he said he was surprised to see that they are spending money right now. So we can start questioning the board or the owner of the club from Wenger's period, because every time we kept on hearing stories, Wenger was taking all the shots and everything. Whereas he could easily have just come out and said, "Oh, the board, sorry, they're not giving me money to sign these players, the players that we need, to move forward." He could easily see. That's why I'm saying he's part of the problem. He's part of the problem, because he didn't say all these things. He took the shots. He
The
took
same way
the shots. He
Arteta
took
is
it in. He took it. Yes, the same way.
the
That's
same way
that's why
Arteta is
that's why a lot
complaining.
of that's why a lot of people
Yes,
are calling
the
him a
same way.
puppet.
Yeah, the
You
same way
should just
Arteta
come
is
out.
complaining.
To some extent, we could see that Unai Emery was like saying things. He was saying it out there. We all knew he was like saying it. But at the same time, don't forget, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, Arteta made a statement, and I'm thinking that statement is part of everything we are going through, because he made a statement in a Spanish radio interview like that, and it was like, and there are a lot of like up to like 7-8 players that he would love to move on and bring in. Like, probably that statement, maybe he shouldn't have made it. But he made that statement. So at least we all know that Arteta knows what he wants, but the board is not willing to dish out that money. Okay, even when they dish out the money, because we've gone everywhere. We've talked about the board. Okay, the board is the top because the head is everything. We can also go back to the recruitment side of things. Okay, aren't you at this point thinking that we wasted money signing Pepe? I'm already thinking like that, because imagine the game against Everton. He couldn't beat anybody. He couldn't even deliver any ball into the box. Like, what is that? And then we brought in William, we brought in Luis, and then we renewed Luis' contract. Like, everything is wrong. And all these decisions, people keep saying Arteta made this decision. Arteta decided to keep out Saliba. Arteta didn't do any of these things. All this, do you think Arteta have the right, or have the guts to say, "Oh, I'm going to drop a player that is being paid £350,000 a week"? Do you think Arteta has that power? A novice? Nah, he doesn't have that power. That decision was from the top. Don't forget that during COVID period, they said, "Oh, they are going to slash their salary," and then they said later on there was stories that 3 players refused to take that pay cut. Ozil's name came out. So now at this point, I'm suspecting 2 other people, Socrates and Saliba, probably. And probably all these decisions they made, taking Socrates out of the team, taking Ozil out of the team, and then William Saliba, probably this is the origin of it. Everything has to do with money when it comes to our board, when it comes to the owner of the club. It just has to do with money, and this money we talk about is not we are spending. No, it's not about that. It's how they make more. But the funny thing is, how do you have an owner who like have other sports, like especially in the US, where he has invested a lot of money into, he has invested a lot of money into those clubs, into those things that he does in the US. What about us? Oh my God, why are we not complaining about it? Like what is wrong with us? What is wrong with us fans? Like, how can you stand and take the fact that he even takes money from our club to go and invest in things he does in the US? But at the same time, we have spent money. What have we spent the money on? Luis, William, Pepe? They said we needed a top defender. For years, we're crying for a top defender. And then they went to sign Pepe. Oh my God. At the same time, okay, we want to bring top managers. Because like Mayo was saying, Arteta out, this and that. Okay, for years, the most experienced of all coaches, Wenger, he couldn't even manage our defense. We're leaking in goals like piam, 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 piam. Unai Emery came with his CV. Unai Emery had a good CV now. He couldn't do the same thing. Arteta came and fixed it. But going forward, it became a problem. Why? Because the board refused to invest. They refused to invest. It's not like Arteta just fixed our defense now. He fixed it before the summer. He fixed it to be able to manage that defense. So at the same time, he should have knocked on the doors and said, okay, you have to give me this now. We have fixed it. We saw the way we played to win the FA Cup. Going forward, it might not help. It might not help. So going forward, you have to invest in this area, that area. But as usual, they'll be like, oh no. And COVID. See, do you know the funny thing? Especially when they were going about this, COVID that. Like, 10 years ago. Let's talk about 9 years ago, 8 years back. What are the excuses you gave? And now COVID came and wow. Amazing excuse. Let's give them COVID. Let's give them COVID as our excuses. Rubbish. That is why I'm saying that I'd rather stick with this guy and see what the board does. I'd rather stick with this guy. If, for example, at the end of January, nothing happens. It's still the same thing, because I'm hearing rumors of Eriksen. Oh my God. What is wrong with us? Is as if we've not learned anything. What is Eriksen? Eriksen, towards the end of his Tottenham career, he was failing. He went to Inter Milan and guy has failed there. And then we want to. What is wrong with us now? Like, why do we keep getting linked to? It's not like we're not getting linked to better players. So we are getting linked to talents, like quality, But at the end, we sign those other guys that don't really care about our club. Like, they don't have any fight in them. They've won everything. You want to mention. And then we are getting linked to this type of people. Like, why? Why are we always going for the cheaper option? Because Eriksen will be cheap, of course. If, for example, this is the plan of the board, to go and sign Eriksen in January and keep Arteta there, then maybe I should be Arteta out. Probably Arteta should be sacked so that they bring Eriksen, so that maybe in a year time we'll be in this condition again. So that at least, because I know Arteta has it in him. He has it in him. We were able to see. We saw it. I saw it. And I was happy during that period. I was happy that, oh my God, it started very, very bad. He came in and he fixed everything. And then it crumbled. If we are going to sign Eriksen and we're going to sign another they refer to them as experienced leaders. If those are the type of people we are getting linked with, please, Arteta should go. Arteta he should just take himself and walk out. He should just walk out from the club. Because if it goes bad after bringing Eriksen without bringing any other player, oh my God, I will blame him for not working. I won't blame him for being a failure. Nobody is a failure. Nobody is a failure. Everybody has a talent. I won't blame him for being a failure. I'll blame him for taking this bullshit. That's what I'll blame him for. So, like the question, yes. Like the question you asked,
Okay,
yes.
thank you very much, George.
They keep setting managers to fail, and that is why I'm saying, if, for example, Arteta gets sacked and they bring in an experienced manager, and then you are signing just Eriksen, in a year's time, I think we'll be in this condition again.
Okay, thank you very much, George. Mayo, let me put this question to you. You called out Edu, but actually speaking, the players Edu came in and these players are performed. Okay, he came in and signed Pablo Mari.
He's Brazilian.
He was the one that
Good.
referred Martinelli to us. Yeah, he was the one that then he signed Gaspar. He signed who again? Pate, and he signed Cedric. Now, out of those five signings, only William is not performing according to the plan Edu had. Only William is not performing, but the rest of the players Edu signed that he spearheaded are performing. So, are you really going to call out Edu as a bad egg here, or you call out the Arsenal board for not providing the funds for Edu to sign players?
I did not just call out Eddie. I called out everybody. And why I called out Eddie is because
Like, he doesn't have the experience,
I don't know his credential. Does not have the experience does not have the quality to.
And sorry, Mayowa, you made mention of these players, and you said out of all of them, only Willian is not performing. Guy, those other guys are not performing they are not doing this. See, bro.
Yes.
Go and check Madrid's squad. Go and check all those other squad. Check. Is it Manchester United? Should I put Manchester United in this? Check what their players are doing and compare it with Cedric, Pablo. Like, what is Pablo? Are you sure Pablo is up to it? I don't think so.
Pablo has not played
He's slow.
since he joined our club. Yes,
He's slow.
Edu signed. The matches I watched him, he has played really well. Go on, Mario.
As I was saying, you said only William has not performed. Is Cedric Suarez, is he a top team quality player? Is Pablo Mari a top team quality player? I mean, we gave Mari and Cedric Suarez a 4-year deal. Adams not played any form of football. They were on loan. We didn't need to sign them to any deal. We had 8 centre backs at the club. Up to now, this is December, we are still not playing any game in the Premier League. We have about 7 to 8 centre backs at the club. We didn't have to sign him. He was initially on loan. We could have been ruthless and sent him back to where Ben was coming from. But no, we signed him to a 4-year deal. We've not seen him play. We've not seen him kick a ball. We don't know if it's good. We don't know if it's bad because he has not played. Cedric Suarez now, you are saying has performed. If he has performed, then why is Granit starting? I mean, we signed a right back that could not even start for Southampton.
True.
This guy was not playing for Southampton when we signed him on loan. and we gave him a
He was
4-year
injured.
deal.
Mike,
Cedric Suarez
wait,
was
wait,
injured.
Mayowa. Mike, do you think Cedric, Pablo, even do you think these guys will start for Chelsea, for Manchester United, for Manchester City, for Liverpool? They won't even start. Compare Trent.
They don't even.
You are
They don't
going
even.
Compare Trent
Mike,
to Cedric.
Mike, they've had Suarez for how many months now? He doesn't even start in Arsenal. I want to show you that he's not up to the task. Yes, it might be a good backup or third choice right back, but right now our right back is an issue, and we've given a guy a 4-year deal, and he cannot even still fight or be the top right back. It's not a matter of he has had a good game or this thing. He's not good enough to be our first choice right back, and it's clear. Mari is not also good enough to be our first choice centre back. And it's clear. It's not a matter of whether they put in a sheet or whether anybody can put in a sheet. Mustafi can put in a sheet.
Did so much.
Mustafi, toward the end of last season, was playing very well. But we all know that Mustafi is shit. We know David Luiz has put in a sheet, but we all know that he's not good. Chambers has put in a sheet before he went on injury, but we know he's not good. Rob Holding, his first Emirates first season,
Yeah.
it was arguably a best centre back, but we know he's not good enough. So as fans, we need to call a spade a spade. We cannot continue to paper over the crack and say this player is not playing good or he's not playing bad. No, these players are not good enough to play for a club as big as Arsenal. It's as simple as that. There's no it's not a matter of if you are signing one player, let's go out there and sign the best players in that position. We cannot continue to, now we have 3 centre backs. No, now we have 3 right backs at the club. None of them are good enough to play as right backs. We have 8 centre backs at the club. Only one is good enough to play as centre backs. And every year we still keep saying we need to buy this, we need to buy that, we need to buy. If we are buying players, let's go out there and buy the best player. There's nothing stopping us from going to Norwich City and getting their right back, because he's good enough to play, or going to Brighton and getting Lamptey, because he's good enough to play for us as the right back. There's no reason why we cannot go and get Dunk to partner up with
Koulibaly.
with Gabriel.
Even Koulibaly.
But no, we'll come again next season. We will go and buy.
As a big club, these are the type of players we should go for.
A stretch. They are very. Let's even agree that we're never in a big club anymore. There are still players we can buy at this club. There are still players that we can buy at this club that will be of quality. We spent 30 million on Saliba. For 2 years, he has not kicked the ball in the Premier League. For 2 good years. See, we are wasting money up and now. You're telling me that Edu has done a good job. He has, apart from William. There's no apart here. He's responsible for giving David Luiz a new contract. We all know that David Luiz had to leave at the end of last season, but no, they give him a new contract. These are things we are talking about. These are the kind of things that we're talking about. You signed William to a 3-year deal. Someone that is not even giving. Chelsea could not even give him a 3-year deal. We had to go and give him a 3-year deal. Now we are stuck with him. Now, for us to buy new players in January, we have to sell. Who do we sell from now? Where do we start selling from now? Who is going? Because we have more players in the club that we can even register for the Premier League. So what are we going to sell? Who wants to leave? All these players are all on big wages, doing nothing. So you cannot come. Our players are down to and they're not good enough. And I call that Edu because he's inexperienced for the job. He's not good enough for the job. Because if he's good enough for the job, yes, George might agree that we're going to stay with Arteta. But if Edu is good enough for the job, they will have swallowed their pride. They will have known that okay, they failed when they signed Arteta. The reason why they didn't want to sign Arteta is because they didn't want to admit that they failed when they signed Arteta. They sold the fans a process that was non-existent. They're telling us trust the process. Now it is what we're going to be trusting. And now they cannot hold their face in shame and say, okay, let's go ahead and sack Arteta, because it will be that they are, for the second time in a row, they are making the wrong decisions. And sooner or later, if you don't sack this Arteta guy, I am 100% sure that this club will not back Arteta in January. I can bet my entire salary for next year that this club will not back Arteta in January. They won't give him the players that we need to fight and stay in the Premier League this January. I can tell you so much that. And if you're thinking that you're going to get Awa or any of those big players, you think they want to come to a club like Arsenal, see the mess we are in. We're not even sure whether we won't be in the Europa League next season. We're not even sure whether we won't be in the Premier League next season. and you think they're going to go out there and splash 45 million on our house or buy all these big players. I'm 100% sure Arteta will not be back in January, and that is the only reason why I think we need to get rid of him, because if they don't back him, we need to get in another manager that can get the best out of these players. These players, as bad as they are not 15th place players, and we can all agree on that. Worst case scenario, they should be at least 8th, even 10th. They are not 15th. We shouldn't be fighting for relegation with this caliber of players. They are earning too much money to be fighting for relegation. And if the club can go out there and back Arteta, fine. Let's forget the season. Let's ride on the season. Let's manage whatever we can manage and keep ourselves in the Premier League. I for one don't think Arteta is a man. I think the problem, in fact, the problem in Arsenal is too big for an experienced manager, not to talk of one that is inexperienced. So I don't think Arteta is the man for the job. But if we all want to say, okay, let's back Arteta, fine. Let the club go ahead and back him. But if the club will not back him, they need to cover their eyes in shame. They need to take the L in peace and sack him. Know that they made a mistake. Go out there and sign or get a manager, even if you have to buy one from a club, that can make the best of these players, and we can build a process with, because at the moment Arteta cannot get anything from this player at the moment. I mean, it's glaring. If I ask you what our next win is, you don't know. There's no match that I'm going in and I'm sure that we are going to win. So if we need to get someone that can make the best use of these players in the interim, while we slowly get rid of the, but by the end of the Premier League, a lot of them would have gone. I'm not saying all would have gone, but a lot of them would have gone. Yes, but we cannot afford to wait till the end of this season to salvage our season. If we stick with Arteta, if we stick with Arteta and we do not back him this summer, we are going to see there's a possibility that we're going to get relegated. And if we don't get relegated, it will be because of the inept of other clubs. And that's my take.
Okay, moving forward, let's talk about our midfield against Everton. Like, do we look? To me, most of you won't agree with what I'm about to say. But to me, when we don't have Xhaka in midfield, yes, Xhaka, you may say Xhaka is not good enough to play for Arsenal. But when we don't have Xhaka in midfield, we struggle. Look at against Everton. And then he couldn't even press. Like, it was when Willock came in. We were even better in that match without a defensive midfield. Now, it was when Willock came in that we started pressing Everton up high, not minding us losing the ball. We kept the ball well. When William moved in to play as a number 10, I think we started dominating the game there. Now, is our midfield also part of this problem? Because we signed Partey. Partey has only played 2 matches for us. Then he will play one and get into it. Play one, get into it. But it was the same problem Arteta identified going into the summer. That we needed midfielders to steady this ship. Are our midfielders good enough for the Premier League?
No.
George, I'll go with you.
Okay, you mentioned Eneni. There is one thing we all, like fans, Arsenal fans in general, worldwide, cannot fault Eneni. Okay, he has this commitment. Okay, like there's this commitment he goes into every game. You know, and you cannot fault his work rate. You can't fault it. But at the same time, the quality is low, and we all know that. The quality is low. You can bring out El Neni. What about Ceballos? Who else have we put in that midfield? Oh, Ozzy in the past. Who else? Like our midfielders are not good enough. We know. We see, bro. When everybody was going crazy about our defense is not good, our defense is this, our defense is that. I've always said, if you take care of the midfield, you don't need to bother about the defense. Just take care of the midfield. put those great men in the midfield.
Yeah, actually,
Like, look at Barcelona that imagine that prime Barcelona.
that was Wenger's policy.
What did they have behind them? Is it Puyo?
Yes.
Okay, see Puyo,
That was even
Gerard,
Wenger's policy.
like Gerard Piqué. Like, okay, these guys, they had the experience, but they were not that good. The midfield took care of the defense and the striking position, like the front men. The midfield took care of it. Everybody was like, our defense is this, our defense is that. I was like telling everybody, just take care of the midfield. If you put those men, you have those 3 guys in the midfield that will keep touching, they'll be giving that. Like, bro, forget about the defense. If the midfield is effective, the strikers will be good. Our midfield is not effective, that's why our strikers are underperforming. We all know this. You can bring out Eneni, you can call Ceballos. Imagine when we had Fabregas, when we had Nasri, or Rosiski, or what is his name, Cazorla. Like, teams were scared. They were scared. When we had Nasri, oh my God, they were scared. They keep dropping back. They don't drop back at what we have right now. Who is scared of what we have? Are you scared of those guys? I'm not scared of Ceballos. I think I'm better off than him. I'm not scared of Xhaka. Nah, please. That guy is too slow. He's not a midfielder. Nobody should tell me anything otherwise. I don't care. That guy is he's not even a footballer, man. I don't care. As a midfielder, you should be able to turn. You should be able to do everything. You should be able to score too. Don't bring Xhaka into this conversation, please. Xhaka, please. No, it's not good enough. When we are talking of midfielders, please don't even put him. Put him in that category
George,
with midfielders.
George, I'm not saying
Mike,
I'm not saying
Mike, don't put
George,
him.
I'm not saying he's good enough. George,
He's not good
I'm
at
not saying
all.
look. I'm not saying he's good enough. My point is, when we don't have Xhaka,
When was the last time?
Now,
When was the last time, bro?
Don't take it wrong.
Bro, when was the last time we had Xhaka and we were dominating? When?
You know what? Let me give Mike a point. The last game we won in the Premier League, in fact, the last game we won, both Premier League and Europa League or Carabao Cup, we did not have Xhaka in the team.
Again?
Our last game we won in the Premier League was Pate, calm down. Was Pate, calm down. Calm down.
You all blame Xhaka. Like for the past 2 matches, 3, like he has not played, and we are still losing.
Which he has not played. He played 2 matches ago now. He has been involved in the last
Don't forget that after Xhaka was given a red card, that was when we drew against Southampton. We managed to draw against Southampton. And at the same time, Burnley was dominating us. Don't forget. We didn't dominate Burnley.
We dominated Burnley.
I don't think so.
We dominated Burnley.
How do you dominate a team?
We didn't dominate.
When chances created was like almost zero.
Are you not shameful? Like, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed that you're here arguing about dominating against Burnley, a team that is struggling for relegation, because you want to justify Granit Xhaka?
We should.
Where did Xhaka play?
That they are not good enough.
Where did Xhaka play? Where did Xhaka play when Burnley played Leeds? Did you see how this battle was back to front? Granit Xhaka is not the answer to the. There's nothing like when Xhaka is in the team we play better. We don't play better. It's a false analogy. Granit Xhaka is not a footballer. He cannot turn. He cannot.
Those are the things
you're
looking for from a midfielder.
The only thing you people say he does with the ball when he passes, and that one he does not even do it well. The only thing he does is Granit Xhaka is the least most effective amongst
none of our midfielders are midfielders. None of our midfielders are midfielders. If you are putting
So why we
Granit
so
Xhaka
why
into a
so why we
none of our
thinking
midfielders are.
so why we thinking you know what I know what Ceballos can bring to the team. I know what
These
Ernesto
are
can bring
these
to the
are
team. They
squad
can be
players.
poor,
These are squad
but I know what
players
they
in
can
the
bring to
first
the team.
place.
I know what Jomilo can bring to the team. I
These are
know
squad
I
players in
know
the first
I know
place.
yes I know what Jomilo can bring to the team. I know exactly. I know what Ozil can bring to the team. They are all poor. I know what Ozil can bring to the team. What does Xhaka bring to Arsenal's team? I don't know. I don't know what he's good at. I don't know his position. I don't know his role in the midfield. Just someone says he's a recycler. Is he a normal person? What do you know of recycler? What are you recycling? It cannot take ball from the defense and transition into the midfield or transition into the
I was gonna go. I was
quickly.
gonna go to that
We are all
point now.
saying that
I was gonna
Xhaka
go to that point.
whenever
Like
he's in the team,
in each game that we
whenever he's
play,
in the team,
each game
whenever
that
he's
we
in
play,
it,
how many
whenever
balls
he's in the team,
does Xhaka give to Aubameyang? And he's a midfielder. How many balls does he play to our strikers? How many
Xhaka is it.
chances does he create in a game? We have to rate him in this part, in this aspect. How many chances does he create in a
Exactly.
game? In a game? Nah, he
Exactly.
doesn't. He doesn't.
As bad,
No.
exactly. As bad as our midfielders are, as bad as all our midfielders are, I know what each and every one brings to the team. I do know what Xhaka brings to Arsenal's team. Nothing. I don't know what he brings to the team. And you know yourself that you don't know what Xhaka brings to the team.
Okay, wait.
Nobody can tell me.
Mike, tell us
Nobody can
what
tell me this is what Xhaka
Granit
brings to
does
the
for this team.
Arsenal team.
Exactly. I want to know.
It does nothing. It does nothing. You people can keep on having your
No, don't
agendas
take it. Don't,
against competing
Mike.
players. Xhaka does nothing.
Mike, why are you
So
taking
moving
it
This
like
is
forward,
no
that?
let's move
agenda.
on to
Why are you
Don't
taking
take
it
it
like that,
personal. This is
Mike?
no agenda. No,
moving
Mike,
forward.
don't take it personal.
Don't take it like that, Mike.
Mike, don't
Let's
take it personal. Don't take
let's
it
move on
personal.
Okay.
moving forward. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. Your expectations for tomorrow's game, and what do you think about tomorrow's game? Mayo, I'll go with you first.
They're not winning. That one is sure. I mean, don't be
Xhaka is not playing.
season.
Xhaka is not playing, and your quality
No,
midfielder that brings a lot to the team. You have to play.
Did you hear me say that I'm maybe that have quality? I said they are bad, but I know what they
No,
bring to the team.
you say every one of them brings some certain things to the team. Then tomorrow they will bring it, and Xhaka is not playing.
That they are bringing something to the not me are bringing enough. I know what they bring to the team. Xhaka does not need to play for this. The team is bad. A team is 11 players plus substitutes, not just one player. Granit Xhaka makes up the team as well. But because Xhaka is not playing does not mean that the remaining 10 players are good enough. They're all bad. They are all bunch of waste men. All of them. We need to get rid of all of them and build a team around the likes of Tierney and Gabriel and Thomas Partey and maybe Nicolas Pepe, which is also disappointing. But I mean, there's clearly talent there. Apart from and Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. Apart from those players I mentioned, no other player again in the team is good enough for the club. No, none. So let's don't come and tell me because Xhaka is not going to play tomorrow and we have
mentioning Martinelli. Mentioning Martinelli. I think on Saturday we saw a different side to what Martinelli can bring into the team. He played between the lines, where I exactly wanted our wingers to play, exactly that way. Like every ball he gets, he turns. And that is the first time.
Is it not sad? Is it not sad
that is the first time in this season that I'm seeing an Arsenal player turning within that 18-yard box.
It's not sad that the entire, as big as Arsenal Football Club, the Arsenal Football Club, we are depending on the shoulders of two players. One that just got from injury, and one that we've almost killed. Martinelli and Bukayo Saka, 18-year-old players. The entire football club is depending on their shoulders for them to pull up magic. It's disheartening. It's disheartening. There's tomorrow. If Martinelli plays, does not mean we'll win the game. They're playing Man City that have squad in depth, squad in reserve. So, and the team is probably we play Europa League squad, we might have a chance. But if not, if we go into tomorrow's game and we see some set of first team players, we'll get turned over like pancake against Martins tomorrow. Easy. It will be too easy. Maybe a 3-0, a 2-0 victory. I don't see, or maybe they might pull up the odd one goal here or there. I don't even see they're going to score for himself. But I don't see us winning tomorrow's game. That do I see us winning Chelsea's game as well. So I think we'll lose.
Well,
I think we'll lose.
once
The
there's
rest of the
light,
squad
there's
will pull
hope.
up.
We can always hope that Arsenal will come out tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow can be the turning point. So, George, your take on tomorrow's game?
Okay, let me say, I don't know if it will be my take now or my expectation. My expectation is, I expect Arteta to play the young boys, play the young lads. I don't mind. I don't mind if we get beaten 10-0. I don't mind if we get beaten 50-0. Play the young lads. Because if you take a very good look at everything that has been happening this season, every club out there, they've been, everybody have been performing and underperforming. We are just the only club that is underperforming. As a big club, we are underperforming. We're not fluctuating between here and there. We are just in that part where we are just underperforming. We're breaking records every week. Now it's like every 3 days we're breaking records. And if you take a very good look at the Manchester City's team, they've not been that good too this season. They've been losing games. They've been drawing games everyone expected them to win. And being the fact that in days to come, City will be playing. I don't know who they will be playing against, but in days to come there will be a Premier League game. So I expect City to keep a lot of their top stars. I expect them to keep a lot of their top stars away from this game. So if for example, our season is crashing, but this is not the end of the season. We're just in December, but things are not looking good. Things can get better. Things can get better. So if I was Arteta, I'll use this opportunity to play the young lads, coach them perfectly. He did it before. That's one thing I keep saying. He did it before. I don't know how he did it, because when towards Unai Emery's end in Arsenal, we saw this same thing. It was extremely bad. We saw it. It was really, really bad. We used to see tweets like, "Oh, you make me laugh, Ozzy," and stuff like that. We saw all these things. This is not new. We saw it last year. By the same period, we saw all these things. So now it's happening again. And before now, Arteta did take us away from that bad period, and he even made us win a cup. We won a trophy. And that, I believe in Arteta. I believe in Arteta so much. And I just feel tomorrow's game, my expectation is Arteta should give it his all, He just has to give it his all. He needs to tell the players what tomorrow's game, means to the club, to them as well, Bring the young lads. Those guys are very, very hungry, They want to make a name for themselves. They want to show that they are. Oh yes, some of the fans are saying, "Oh, Joe Willock is not good. Oh, Reece Nelson is not good." I'm part of those fans. Nketiah, I've said it. Oh, it's not good enough to lead us. They should come out and fight for the club. If the experienced players are doing all this bullshit that they're doing, let these young lads come out and show that they care. I think they can. Arteta only needs to trust them. Put your trust in these young lads tomorrow. Give them the chance. Let us see what they're capable of doing. Give them the chance. Give them the opportunity. We might see one or two players that might be outstanding. We might even win the game tomorrow. Because Manchester City have not been playing that good. They've not been playing that good this season. We might just win the game tomorrow. So I'm pleading to Arteta to give the young lads the chance to show what they are capable of doing. And I hope we go to that game and we execute it and we win the game and we look forward to another, round of cup games. you know. So these are my expectations, Mike.
Okay, as the saying goes, once there's life, there is hope. We can only hope that tomorrow Arsenal comes out and performs. Okay, George, Mayowa, thank you very much for coming on to the show.
Yeah,
Okay,
before we go on, I honestly hope I'm proving wrong tomorrow. I honestly hope I can come here in the next podcast and hold my hands up and say, okay, I was wrong about tomorrow's game.
we,
Tomorrow's game.
we all hope so,
I've
Mayowa.
lost,
We all hope so.
I've lost hope. I'm sorry. Honestly, I've lost hope. I've lost hope in the club. I've lost hope in the manager. I've lost hope in the players. I've lost hope in the board. So
Okay, guys, thank you very much. And to the listeners, if you're listening anywhere you're listening in the world, you can follow us on Twitter on Gunblast Niger, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel on Gunners Blast Niger podcast. Okay, George, Mayowa, thank you very much for coming on to the show. And thank you very much for our listeners. Your last take, George.
I just like I said earlier, I just hope tomorrow I get to smile a bit. At least, just a bit, Like this is Christmas for God's sake. This is Christmas, man. No Christmas gift.
Maybe tomorrow we'll have
This
a
is Christmas,
Christmas
man.
surprise.
I hope
Maybe
so.
we'll have tomorrow a
I hope
Christmas
so.
gift tomorrow. Okay,
I
Mayowa,
hope so.
your last take.
I hope so.
I'm hoping for a win. Well, honestly, I've lost hope. And let's see how it goes. I've been crestfallen for a while. I'm disappointed and I'm sad. The club that we fell in love with is moving this way. And I'd like to see us going to the next round of the Carabao Cup, even win it. I just hope things can work out. And I hope the club can come out there. 'Cause I know they won't sack the manager. I hope he can come out there and back. And we'll come out here at least in our next podcast with a little bit of smile. Thank you very much, guys, for today.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Bye for now.